Hello, folks. It's Amey B. We're here at McNamara's Irish Pub, and we are still with my dear friend Sonny Steiner. We just finished making some fabulous beef jerky, homemade recipe. So we had a lot of fun doing that.
Sure
so
did.
tell me, how in the world did you get into making beef jerky? Buddy?
Well, like I said, it was a thing that my uncle showed me. Every time there's a family reunion or any kind of get together, they have this little competition to see who can smoke the best meat, and they both bring their smokers.
Smoke off.
Yeah, so I just kind of inadvertently learned it, you know, being around those guys. And then when my uncle came to visit me last Christmas, I actually showed him this new recipe that I've been working on, and he asked me for it. So
that's pretty nice.
Yeah, a little shot of pride there.
Sure it was.
I got his endorsement.
Yeah, because I've tasted some of it now. You know, I'm not much of a beef eater, but he encouraged me, and I was like, I don't eat beef, but okay, I'll try it. And I'm telling you, it's the most tender. Because a lot of jerky is like really, even like turkey jerky, I'll eat that. But it's very tender and it's very moist and it's yummy.
The trick is to smoke it.
Yeah, smoke it and it's very flavorful.
Yeah, you bet. The smoke gives it all the flavor.
It's like when I get in the kitchen, I make the cookie kind of thing. It's got get these flavors going around and stuff like that until I've got it perfected.
Your cookies in there.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I want to talk to you about your music, because we are here tonight to watch you perform.
Yeah,
okay.
How
did you get into music? Did you grow up playing music at a young age, or is this something that, you know, some people are late starters, late bloomers, or was this just something that was a passion of yours from a very young age?
Well, I grew up loving music, and then when I was 8 years old, my grandfather always played music, and you know, there was always music around the house.
Right.
So you know, he bought me my first guitar when I was 8 years old, and he was actually the MC at our local bluegrass festival in our hometown. And
which is where you from?
Earl Park, Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana?
Yeah, the Earl Park Fall Festival. That was the very first time I ever got on stage, and I just remember being so nervous.
And you were 8?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, no, it was the next year. I was 9. I'd been playing for a year.
Oh, you were much older.
So
then.
he got me up, and I played the Wabash Cannonball. It was the first time I ever played together. So
yeah.
My very first public performance ever. So
yeah.
And then he bought me my first guitar, and you know, of course we grew up listening to bluegrass and country music and the Grand Ole Opry and stuff like that.
The good old stuff.
You bet. And
the good old Johnny
I still have a deep fondness in my heart for
George
that stuff.
Jones, you know, all that stuff,
And you know, I still have a deep fondness in my heart for that kind of music. But then when I got to be a teenager, you know, I started looking through my dad's old records, and he had Bob Dylan and the Rolling Stones and stuff like that. And I fell in love with that stuff too.
It's kind of like my same story.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And I remember the first time I heard like a Rolling Stone was on a television show or a movie.
Right.
And they were playing it at the end as the credits rolled, and I was just like, who is this? I gotta learn more about this guy.
Right.
And of course I started going through my dad's record collection and started learning more about this guy, and you know, and it's been his, well, I don't know. I don't know what you would call it. Sometimes I think it's a curse, but
oh no. And, you know, and do you feel like your style is a lot like that when I hear you sing? You know, I mean, that was one of your biggest influences.
Yeah, I don't think
it's kind of like a cross between 2 or 3 different artists. Your vocal style, your music style, which I think a lot of us carry through with us, but yet you've made yourself more. It's very unique and different.
Right,
it's your stamp. It's your signature.
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't call my. You know, I don't think you can listen to the kind of music the way I did for as many times as I did and not have that become a big influence on the way you actually do it yourself. But that doesn't mean you sound like that person.
Right.
It just means, you know, you've been heavily influenced by him.
Exactly. Now, we've talked a little bit about co-writing. Do you do a lot of this? Do you write most of your own material solely, or do you work and collaborate? A lot of people like to really collaborate, especially in this town of Nashville. You know, you find a lot of writing groups and things like that, and they actually just they meet each other, go into a room, and they sit there like a 9-to-5 job, and they write. I mean, you know, I've known guys since back when I was here in the 80s, of Warner Chapel Music, and these guys, that was their job. I mean, they really would meet in a room every day, and they would sit and just start pounding the guitar and writing lyrics, you know, and very, you know, generic like that. But, you know, for you, it's a different kind of vibe. You know, how you come about writing your material?
Well, obviously, there's great success in the people who have done that.
Yes, and not putting that down at all, because I think that's a great gig. You know, let me tell you, if I could do that every day and make a bunch of money, I would too.
And, you know, I have a lot of friends in this town who
I really would. And they're great songwriters.
Yeah, and I have a lot of friends that I hang out with who make a living doing that, and they're very good at it. But you know, I see them going to work with a cup of coffee in their hand and a guitar case in the other, and then going to meet somebody they sometimes have never met before in their life, and they go lock themselves in a room for
which to me is like an amazing thing.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, it really is. I give it to them.
I've tried it.
It's a pretty amazing thing.
I've tried it, but I can honestly say nothing creative has ever come out of it. I've had one co-write. I have one co-write on my record, but it's with a friend that I've known for a long time, and another respected writer that I really think highly of.
Right.
So we did co-write it, but that was a case where I kind of had 80% of the song written, and I basically just needed a hook, and he came up with it. So.
Right. Excellent. Let me ask you this too. Now, you've of course played. And how long have you been in Nashville?
Since 1995.
So you've been around for a while. You've done a lot of gigs in Nashville.
Just about every club in
every club in town. There you go. And also, we are here tonight to watch you perform here at McNamara.
Yeah.
So you do Wednesday nights here. When Columns, you and Column kind of like trade out the Wednesday night thing, and you play some Thursdays when Sean needs a night off.
Sundays,
and Sundays.
No, it's a great place to play. I never turn down the opportunity.
It is a great venue, and a lot of great talent comes through here.
It's a great room, great crowd, great sound.
Yes, it really is.
Great food.
Yeah, great food. Love the food. But you know, you also have some plans to kind of like move into doing your own kind of thing as far as owning a place here, a club here, a cafe, kind of music.
Yeah, well, I don't.
Where you'll be performing.
Yeah, I've kind of started. You know, as much as I still love music and I plan to be a musician for the rest of my life, I've actively stopped pursuing gigs and that sort of thing. I mean, I stopped touring like I used to. And because now I've put all my eggs in this one basket where we're going to actually open a really cool venue in town.
I'm excited.
Yeah, in the town of Donaldson, and it's going to be called Sonny's Guitar Coffee Bar.
There you go. I'm in.
And other cool stuff.
I'm in.
And what it is we're going to sell soup, salad, sandwiches, and crepes. We're going to have a full Starbucks-style coffee house. But we're also going to incorporate, and this is the coolest part, we're going to incorporate a vintage music store into the back of it, and we're going to become a music venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're going to sell like old albums and things like that
records,
too? Yeah.
Vintage clothing, paintings, you know, anything cool. We're going to try to dabble in it, you know.
Yeah, I love the idea.
It's you know, we've had a lot of support in the town of Donaldson.
Yeah.
And we've got the support of a lot of investors, and we're almost there.
I know, and the thing is, folks, I've seen this journey with Sonny. We've known each other for quite some time, so and I've seen the journey with him and where this is going.
And she's been very supportive.
Yes, but of course, absolutely.
Because you've had your own pursuits.
I've had my own, and there's nothing like having the support from the people around you. I mean, really, I'm telling you, it lifts you up because it's not easy. It's not easy, so you got to have that.
But when you have a good idea,
when you have a good idea and you believe in it, you better go with it.
It's good, you know, it's easier to get people on board, and you know, that's been really encouraging to me, is how quickly people get on board with this when I present the ideas to them.
Absolutely, and Donaldson is such an up and coming area. I mean, it's just fascinating.
Well,
to
if
me.
you know Nashville,
I've seen in the last 3.5 years that I've been working out here with the McNamaras that it's just like it's like the new up and coming Nashville. So it's awesome to have. There's nothing here like that.
You bet. If you know Nashville, and
wide open,
you should be familiar with the Sylvan Park area.
Right.
And that area boomed back in the late 80s and 90s because all of the people who came in and bought those houses back in the 40s, you know, they started to die off, and younger people came in.
Like East Nashville?
Yeah, they came in, they bought the houses, fixed them up, and then, you know, consequently, businesses had to come in and start catering to these younger artistic people. The same thing is happening now in Donaldson, where these people who bought these houses in the 50s and 60s are starting to, you know, starting to fall off, and now these younger people are coming in, and surprisingly, Donaldson is one of the few places in the metro area where housing is still very affordable.
Right, exactly.
And it's attracting a lot of younger people.
And I'm moving over here in June.
Good for you.
Yeah, I know. I'm very, very, very excited. Yes, it is. And this is one great club to come to, folks. I want to tell you, to see talent like this, Sonny, which we also worked with Colin, we'll be working with Sean McNamara also in the future for the show. So I just want to thank Sonny for giving us a moment to talk to him and let you guys get to know Sonny. And now we're going to go and we're going to let him do his stuff. He's going to rock us. So stick around, because Sonny's coming up next. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Rock on.
Put out by the wind and the rain, but the weather's fine. No, I should not complain. It's just that I miss my sweet diamond chain.
It's a wrap.